Okay, this is Friday, November 2nd, 2012. We're, the first video of about 12 minutes in length was at the 11th hole, and that's where we're going to start with something else that can be found right here in miniature on this one par 3. You know, we were talking about the bunkers in the previous video, but now I want to go over to this area over here on the right. Here's the dominant tree that guards the right side. It's rock formation, you know, well known. The caddy egress is just in front of that bunker. You know, and it goes out here. There's the new ladies tee on 12 from 3 or 4 years ago. And then, you know, starting to go around the chunky woods over here on the right. And, of course, in the foreground is the, you know, is a new tree farm, you know, which is a, you know, great idea to have that on site, ready to go, depending on, you know, future needs. You know, a well-planted tree is perfect, especially at a course like this, but we're going to talk about these pines. Oh, these pines. Let's start with offender number 1. Talk about slow play. Talk about an impediment for seeing, locating, and playing golf balls. What in God's name is this? You know, it's a handsome looking pine. It's got a, you know, fair canopy underneath. When I was a kid, that canopy was flush to the ground. A ball that went in there was never going to be found again unless you're willing to get, you know, multiple scratches, your eye poked out, and Lyme disease. But anyways, it's a good enough tree. I'm not critiquing the handsomeness of the tree, the aesthetic properties. But what the heck is it doing here? It is only about 20, from the edge of it, just about 20 yards, maybe 22 yards to the bunker. This is a hot spot for play. This tree is an impediment to play, and it's also an impediment to locating the ball from which all play derives. So it's doubly bad. It blocks an egress to the cart path. There's no air and light down here. The turf is pretty good down here, so that's not really a major critique, but it just hinders play. What can be done? It's going to take more time to get around this tree. What is the benefit strategically or for quote-unquote challenge for a golf course? What is the benefit, is what I'm saying, of having a tree like this here? If a man has gone 20 to 22, any player, man or woman, senior or youngster, if any person comes over here, any player comes over here, first of all, they've sliced it 22 yards right of the right-hand bunker, which right edge is about 20 or 25 yards from the center of the green. That shot is 50 yards offline and being played into a green that does receive better from this side, but still a 50-yard shot, or any of the shots that are available here up to 60 yards if you get right at the path and are blocked by this tree, as I'm going to start walking down, is when you get over here, I mean, aren't you, look at this shot coming up. Again, iPhone video may not capture everything, but I'm getting here, and let's say, you know, I was right here in this tree, which I'm at, you know, was actually in my way. This is no bargain, I tell you. A 50-yard intermediate pitch over, you know, a vast bunker of sand to a green that's very well sloped. And, you know, even though from this angle receives it, it's downhill to today's pin. There's no stopping the ball unless you play a really fine, you know, lob shot. No one is eating the hole up from over here to start with. And if they're over here, you know, we want them to get back in play as readily as possible. They're going to make their bogey or 5 on balance, and God forbid that they get up and down from here or hole out. People shouldn't make a par from a crazy spot. That's not a fun thing about golf. Again, I don't know if today's pin is visible and if this video really captures, you know, what kind of shot you have over here. But we're not testing anybody once they get over here. And it shouldn't be a cruelty to then have a shot like that, which has, you know, its various values for players. And this is what you have if you're anywhere from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, And if the pin is for the left, 14. And anything back to over here, over here. So the wedge of its interference gets vast, and now I'm up at these other trees. One of which over here was damaged by the storm. Doesn't look, I don't think it'll, of its own accord. It may come down in a subsequent storm, but it's okay for right now, except for some of the broken branches. But again, what is the point? What is the point of having this thing here? It's not contributing that much aesthetic value and things. It's way out of the line of view. It's only seen by those driving down here to go on their cart path run. There's plenty of nice pines for them to, get the Brae character of some of the pine trees here, which is, there should be some of the character left. It's part of the course property. It's a pine forest. But let's come back up, keeping this tree in focus, and we'll talk about these other ones. But this is the big offender. This would open up and save, every busy day, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Braeburn that saw more than 150 golfers. I suspect that you would save, on balance, times 4, 40 groups worth. About 1 in 3 groups get a ball down here on average. You're talking about 13. You're talking something in the area of a half-hour gross of time potentially being saved, maybe 25 minutes gross being saved on any day that had 40 groups or more out here, because 1 in 3 of them are going to get over here, and I don't know, those 1 in 3, probably 1 in 2 of them are going to be blocked and take more time and have a more sour hole for something as needless as a tree. Okay, but enough about that tree, but it is the big offender down here. If there was a priority, it should go first. But then let's look at their brethren out here just at the rim of the new tree farm. These two, 1, 2, the one that has many broken branches on it, so 3, 4 in the distance. I'm walking closer to it. Yeah. And this is number 4. And potentially, but it's probably the least on the priority scale, is number 5 down here, and there's the front of the 12th tee. All trees, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're not nearly as egregious as an offender as this, but still, why should we spend any time looking for the deflection, the unseen deflections? No caddy, unless they have putters and it's a slow day, is generally going to be out here. Or even if they are, they're sometimes over on that far side, which this is all kind of brow blind. I stand over here by the tree, putters, but not everybody can or does. And certainly not the walking groups. The caddies are back up at the tee, which is around uphill and around that blind corner. This is all blind to the tee down here. So why should we have to guess which of these it plinkoed off, under which stick or branch it is, and hinder the sight of looking for it where it may have come to rest in the distance? In concert, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In concert with this, the primary offender, these can all be taken out, but certainly this one. But there's no reason for this area to be like this. And we'll still have, if I'm peering through here, through number 2 and 3, and here is a rather large pine, probably the largest of the group down here. And right on the other side of its branches, now, I'll kind of walk away a little bit, sorry. As we look at this big pine, which looks like somehow, some way, it held up pretty good in this storm. I don't see any uprooting marks. But here we are. We still have the privacy, along with this tree, for the ladies' 12th tee. That's desirable, as well as additional shade for when the sun, gets about 2 o'clock midsummer time from this pine that is, I guess, a little southeast of the new ladies' tee from 2009. A great hole, by the way. This is Braeburn's best hole. Everything should be done to, any efforts on this hole should be to merely enhance the greatness that's there. It needs no substantial things. Perhaps, again, the bunker treatment, which is due everywhere. When we look back, there's the new tree farm. There's the protecting pine that'll still, give a hole-to-hole privacy between here and the ladies' tee on 12. Almost straight line up to the big tree that you can see off the 11th tee here. So there it is. Those pines down there. Why are people needing to look for balls down in that area? That should be open. There's plenty of protection and distinction from this, and the far pine in the triangle of turf down there. There's plenty of distinction from hole to hole. And, these trees, when they grow up, they're going to be enough of a hazard for looking for balls down here. But until they grow up, they'll be a little bit more out of play. All but a few of these pines, really should come down. They offer no safety protection. They offer really hidden visuals, if anything. And they're a hindrance to play on number 11. So it would be my recommendation on all bases for time, for beautification, for turf quality, is that these pines, get the heck out of here. Unless leave one or two to soak up water. That's about it.